In the wisdom book of the Old Testament, the book of Proverbs, chapter 29 deals with problematic culture and government. Those that are the members of a particular culture and those that are in charge of that culture. And in very many ways it sounds like today. We've taken a look at several of those verses beginning in verse 1 down through verse number 12. I want to continue taking a look at this chapter. Beginning in verse number 18, probably the best known verse among biblical students. Where there is no revelation, the people cast off restraint, but happy is he who keeps the law. Now the older King James says, where there is no vision, the people perish. But it deals with a prophetic statement that is absolutely true, where those kind of truisms, where that kind of truth is not something that you find within a nation. The people have nothing upon which to base their actions. They could care less. It's like it's an amoral society. There are no morals in that culture. It's like an antinomian kind of existence, an existence without law, without knowledge, really without decency. If you continue in this chapter, beginning in verse 22, an angry man stirs up strife, and a furious man abounds in transgression. You see that all around us. A man's pride will bring him low, but the humble in spirit will retain honor. And that's true, but when those individuals do not react with that kind of violence and that kind of insensitivity, those who are violent and insensitive can't stand it. Whoever partners with a thief, verse 24, hates his own life. He swears to tell the truth, but reveals nothing. I think in our culture we have a lot of individuals in positions of authority that really have left out a lot of details. And they're really concerned about the truth as much as concerned about themselves. And that's tragic. Many seek the ruler's favor, but justice for man comes from the Lord. Many people just try to please the person that's in power. Truth? Well, that's whatever is defined by the one in power. No, it's not. But that's the way we kind of live, unfortunately. Many seek the ruler's favor, but justice for man comes from the Lord. An unjust man is an abomination of the righteous, and he who is upright in the way is an abomination to the wicked. So it's a contrast. The person that lives in despicable ways is somebody that's a parasite on society. And on the other hand, those individuals that are trying to live in an upright way, a correct way, a way that follows principle and truth, those that have no use for principle, they can't stand that. Do you see that today? More and more often, I think it becomes apparent in cancel culture. I don't like what you're saying, I'm just not going to listen to it, but I'm going to stop you from saying it whatsoever. It's almost like the student in the classroom that says, this is too hard, I'm not going to learn it, and every time that you talk about it, I'm just going to be wondering about something else. My mind will be somewhere else. But I don't want you to fail me, because that's not fair. It's kind of the way our culture is. Don't want you to talk about truth, and don't want you to tell me that I'm wrong, and don't you point out the mistakes. I'm doing the best I can, as inept as I may be. Don't point out my faults, my flaws. That's not fair. That's necessary. Unfortunately, what is necessary is not what's taking place in our culture. Maybe you've heard the statement before that the patients are running the asylum. More and more, it seems the case, just as it seemed to be the case in the thoughts and words of Proverbs 29. Please stay safe. We'll talk again soon.